The notification lit up my phone at 2:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. A pending charge, $10,000 at Downtown Event Solutions. My stomach dropped as I stared at the alert from my emergency-only credit card, the one I'd given my parents strict instructions never to use except for genuine crises. I'm Caitlin, and I've spent 28 years being the responsible one, the reliable one, the one who gets called when bills need paying or problems need fixing. But this was different. "Hey, you okay?" Quinn poked her head into my office. "You look like you've seen a ghost." I turned my phone screen toward her. "Remember last week when my parents said they couldn't afford to fix their leaking faucet, the one that's flooding their basement?" Quinn's eyes widened as she read the notification. "Holy shit! Yeah." I pulled up the merchant details. "Want to know the best part? It's for Max's startup launch party, the same startup he's been developing for 3 years without a single line of code to show for it." "Your golden boy brother strikes again." Quinn perched on my desk. "Please tell me you're not going to let them get away with this." I opened my email, finding 3 unread messages from my mother, each one more desperate than the last. "Honey, we need to use your emergency card for something important." "Caitlin, please call me back about the card." "We are going ahead with the charge. It's for your brother's future. You understand, right?" My hands shook as I scrolled through Max's social media. There it was, a gaudy event announcement for tonight. LED dance floors, premium open bar, some tech influencer as a guest speaker, all to launch yet another half-baked idea that would inevitably crash and burn like the others. My phone buzzed. Mom calling. I declined it. "You should answer," Quinn said. "Tell them off." "No." Something cold and certain settled in my chest. "Let them have their party." "Caitlin, do you know what my mom said when I needed help with my college tuition?" I pulled up the venue's website, studying the elaborate space they'd booked. She said I needed to learn financial independence. Meanwhile, Max got a new car for his 21st birthday because, and I quote, "he needs to look successful to be successful." Quinn's face softened. That must have hurt. It did. But this, I gestured at the charge notification. "This is different. This is theft." My phone buzzed again. A text from Max. "Thanks for helping with the party, sis. Mom said you agreed to let us use your card. You're the best." I didn't reply. Instead, I opened my calendar and blocked off tomorrow morning. I'd need time to visit the bank in person. "What are you planning?" Quinn asked, studying my face. "Nothing yet." I saved the charge notification screenshot. But they've always treated me like their backup plan, their safety net, their human ATM. I started downloading my credit card statements for the past year. Maybe it's time they learned what happens when that safety net disappears. "You're scaring me a little," Quinn said, but she was smiling. In a good way. My phone lit up with Instagram notifications. Max was already at the venue, posting stories. The ice sculpture of his company logo gleamed under professional lighting. Sandra and Philip, Mom and Dad, beamed proudly in their formal wear, champagne glasses raised high. "Look at them," I murmured. So happy, so confident nothing bad could ever happen to their precious son. "Are you going to the party?" "No." I closed my laptop, gathered my things. "But I am going home early today. I have some calls to make." Quinn caught my arm as I stood. "Just be careful, okay?" Whatever you're planning." I hugged her quickly. I'm done being careful. I'm done being reliable. I'm done being the responsible one they only remember when they need something. As I walked to my car, another notification popped up. A photo of Max with his arm around our parents, all three of them glowing with joy beneath crystal chandeliers. The caption read, "Big things coming. Thanks to my amazing family for always believing in me." I smiled, but there was nothing warm about it. They wanted to use my emergency card for their little celebration. Fine, but they were about to learn what a real emergency felt like. Let them drink their champagne. Let them bask in their moment. Tomorrow, I'd show them exactly what happens when you push the responsible daughter too far. I texted Quinn. "Want to have dinner tomorrow? I have a feeling I'm going to need someone to talk to." Her reply was instant. "I'll bring wine. And popcorn. I have a feeling we're going to need both." Look at this nonsense. I turned my phone to show Quinn the latest Instagram story from Max's party. The LED dance floor pulsed with blue light as professionally dressed people milled around, pretending to be impressed by my brother's empty promises. Quinn and I sat on my couch, sharing a bottle of wine and watching the social media circus unfold in real time. She leaned in, squinting at the screen. Is your brother actually wearing a crown? A tech visionary crown," I corrected, reading the caption. "Custom made for the future king of digital innovation." The rhinestone-studded monstrosity perched on his head had probably cost hundreds. More money wasted on his ego. My phone buzzed with a text from Mom. "Honey, why aren't you here? Your brother really wanted you to see his big moment." Quinn read the message over my shoulder. "Big moment? What exactly is he launching? Last I heard, his app was just a PowerPoint presentation. It still is." I took another sip of wine. "But that's never stopped him before. Remember the cryptocurrency thing 2 years ago? The one your parents remortgaged their house to invest in." "Yep. Lost $60,000 on that one." I scrolled through more party photos. But somehow, I was still the bad guy for not believing in family. A new video appeared on Max's story. He stood on a small stage, microphone in hand, tears in his eyes. "I want to thank my amazing parents for always supporting my dreams, and a special thanks to my sister, who couldn't be here tonight but helped make this possible." Quinn grabbed my phone. "Oh, that's Rich. He's actually crediting you? Of course he is." I pulled up my banking app. "Because when this charge gets disputed, he'll say I approved it. That's how it always works. He takes what he wants, then rewrites the story. Remember when he borrowed your car for a job interview and totaled it?" Quinn's voice dripped with disgust. "And your parents made you split the insurance deductible with him because he was trying to better himself? Hard to forget. I was taking the bus to work for 3 months while he got a new lease." I stood up, pacing. "You know what the worst part is? They're not even bad people, not really. They've always seen him differently, like he's made of glass and gold, and I'm made of steel and stone. Because you're stronger? Because they think I can take it." My phone buzzed again. Another text from Mom, this one with a photo attached. Max hugging Dad, both of them grinning. "Look how happy your father is. We're so proud of both our children." Quinn snorted. "Both children? When was the last time they threw you a party?" "When I got promoted to senior project manager, Mom said we should celebrate quietly because Max was going through a rough patch after his last startup failed." I dropped back onto the couch. He'd lost another 20,000 of their money, but heaven forbid we acknowledge my success. A new notification popped up. a LinkedIn post from Max announcing his revolutionary new platform. The comments section was already filling with congratulations from people who had no idea they were celebrating vapor. "Do it," Quinn said suddenly. "Call the bank, right now." I pulled up the credit card company's number, my finger hovering over the dial button. "Once I do this, there's no going back. They'll never forgive me." "Forgive you?" Quinn grabbed my shoulders. "Caitlin, they stole from you. They took your emergency card, the one you specifically said was for real emergencies only, and spent $10,000 on a party for their precious son's imaginary business. What exactly are you waiting for them to forgive?" She was right. With trembling fingers, I pressed dial. A friendly customer service voice answered. "Thank you for calling Capital Card Services. How can I help you today?" I took a deep breath, thinking of all the times I'd swallowed my anger, all the times I'd been the responsible one, all the times I'd watched Max fail upward while I fought for every inch of respect. "Yes, hello. I need to report fraudulent activity on my card." Quinn squeezed my hand as I spoke, her presence steadying me. As I detailed the unauthorized charge, more party photos flooded my social feeds. Max cutting a massive cake shaped like his company logo. Mom dabbing tears from her eyes. Dad raising a toast to the next tech billionaire. Let them celebrate. Let them dance. Let them bask in their borrowed glory. Tomorrow they'd learn that their backup plan, their safety net, their reliable daughter had finally, irrevocably, snapped. "Thank you for reporting this," the customer service rep said. "We'll begin our investigation immediately." I ended the call, feeling lighter than I had in years. "It's done." Quinn refilled our wine glasses. "No," she said with a smile that matched my own. "It's just beginning." The first cracks appeared at 9:47 a.m. when Mom's name flashed on my phone screen. I let it ring 3 times before answering, keeping my voice carefully neutral. "Caitlin, honey, something's wrong with your card." Her voice had that high-pitched tone she used when trying to mask panic. "The venue is saying the payment didn't go through." "Oh?" I typed away at my work computer, maintaining my calm. "That's weird. Have you tried running it again?" "We did, sweetie. 3 times. The card keeps getting declined." A pause. "Your brother's investors were at the party last night. This is very embarrassing for him. Of course, heaven forbid Max face embarrassment." "Well, I can call the bank," I offered innocently. "See what's going on." "Would you? That would be so helpful. Max is beside himself." My other line beeped. "Sorry, Mom. Work's calling. I'll look into it." I switched lines, expecting another family member, but the voice that greeted me was unfamiliar. "Is this Caitlin? This is Lucas Wise from Downtown Event Solutions." His tone was professional, but tense. "We're having an issue with the payment for last night's event." "Oh?" I leaned back in my chair. "What kind of issue?" "The card used for payment has been flagged for fraud investigation. The funds have been frozen." He cleared his throat. "Your parents listed you as the cardholder, but they signed the contract. I'm trying to sort this out before it becomes a legal matter." "I see." I pulled up my email, finding the fraud investigation confirmation from the bank. "And how much was the total charge?" "With the last-minute additions your brother requested? $12,137. My stomach lurched. They'd spent even more than the pending charge showed. "Mr. Wise," I said carefully, "I never authorized my card to be used for this event." Silence stretched between us. Then, "I was afraid of that." My phone buzzed with texts. Max. "WTF is going on with the payment? Mom. Please call me back immediately. Dad. We need to talk. I ignored them all. Mr. Wise, I'll be direct. I said, my card was used without my permission. I've reported it as fraud. What happens next is between you and the people who signed your contract. He sighed heavily. I appreciate your honesty. I'll have my lawyer contact the signing parties. After hanging up, I opened my email to find a message from an unexpected source, Skylar, Max's ex-girlfriend. I saw what happened with the party payment. We should talk. I think we're both done letting Max destroy everything he touches. I was crafting a response when my office door burst open. Mom stood there, mascara smeared, clutching her phone. What did you do? She demanded, her voice shaking. I met her gaze steadily. What did I do? Or what did you do? We needed that card for Max's launch. You know how important this is for his future. No. I stood up slowly. You needed it for his party. The same party you threw after telling me you couldn't pay rent this month. The same party you charged to my card without permission while I was paying your utilities. We're your parents. She stepped closer, switching to her guilt-trip voice. Family helps family. Really? I pulled up my spreadsheet of their borrowed money. Is that why you helped with my student loans? Oh, wait, you didn't. Is that why you helped when my car broke down? Oh, right. You gave that money to Max for his crypto scheme. That's different. Your brother has vision. He just needs support to... Mrs. Shaw. My assistant appeared in the doorway. Security called. They need you to sign out at the front desk. Mom's face crumpled. Caitlin, please. Just call the bank. Tell them it was a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. I sat back down, turning to my computer. It was theft, and I'm done covering for it. After she left, I finally opened Max's messages. The latest one read, You've ruined everything. The investors are pulling out. How could you do this to your own brother? My reply was simple. How could you do this to your own sister? Then I blocked his number. Quinn appeared with coffee. I saw your mom in the lobby. You okay? No. I showed her Skylar's email. But I think I'm about to have some interesting allies. The ex-girlfriend? Quinn whistled. Now that's what I call karma. My phone lit up with a notification from the bank. Fraud investigation proceeding. Funds frozen pending resolution. I smiled, remembering all the times they'd called me cold, calculating, too focused on money while Max was following his dreams. They had no idea how right they were about the calculating part. You know what's funny? I told Quinn. They always said I was good with numbers. They just never thought I'd use that skill against them. He told everyone I was his primary investor. Skylar stirred her coffee, sitting across from me in a quiet corner of the cafe. Said I'd put in $50,000. Want to know how much I actually invested? Let me guess. Nothing? $500. She pulled out her phone, showing me texts from Max. But he kept telling potential investors that I was all in, used my background in tech to give himself credibility. I wasn't surprised. That's his specialty, using people. The party was supposed to be his big reveal. Skylar's laugh was bitter. Except there's nothing to reveal. No working prototype, no real code. Just mock-ups and promises. My own phone buzzed, another email from Lucas Wise's lawyer. I showed it to Skylar. Your brother and parents are refusing to accept responsibility for the charges. We'll be pursuing legal action. Good. Skylar pulled up her own folder of screenshots. Because I've got something that might interest Mr. Wise. Max didn't just scam the venue. He collected pre-launch investments from at least 6 people at that party. My eyebrows shot up. How much? Around 15,000 each. She forwarded me the evidence. All based on the promise that the platform was ready to launch. He even showed them fake user statistics. I added the documents to my growing file. Why are you helping me with this? Because he didn't just lie about my investment. Her voice hardened. He told everyone we were still together, that I was his partner and muse. Used my reputation to secure deals. I found out when 3 different investors congratulated me on our engagement. My phone lit up with another call from Mom. I declined it. They're still trying? Skylar asked. Non-stop. Dad even showed up at my apartment last night. I pulled up his text from this morning. Princess, please, we can work this out as a family. Princess, Skylar scoffed. Let me guess. Max is still their king? Not for long. I opened my laptop, showing her the spreadsheet I'd compiled. I've documented every unauthorized charge, every borrowed dollar, every bounced check they've written me. 3 years of financial manipulation. Holy shit! Skylar leaned forward. Is that really how much they've taken? $47,000. I pointed to the total, not counting this latest party fiasco. The cafe door chimed. Quinn walked in, carrying a thick manila envelope. You got them? I asked as she sat down. Every email from the past 5 years. Quinn handed me the envelope. Your mom really should know better than to use her work email for family drama. The IT department was very helpful when I mentioned potential fraud. I spread the emails across the table. Threads about using my card, discussions about hiding expenses from me, conversations about Max's various schemes, all documented in black and white. Look at this one. Skylar pointed to an email from last month. They literally discuss how to handle you if you discovered the card usage. Your mom suggested claiming it was for medical expenses. Classic Sandra manipulation. I sorted the emails into categories. Always ready with a guilt trip. Quinn's phone buzzed. Guys, you might want to see this. She turned her screen toward us. Max just posted a video. There he was, looking disheveled, his eyes red. I need to address the rumors about last night's launch party. My sister, who I trusted, who I thought supported me, has betrayed not just me, but our entire family. Oh, this is rich, Skylar muttered. She's trying to destroy everything I've built, everything we've worked for, but I want my investors to know. Send this to Lucas, I told Quinn. And the investors. Let them see him dig his own grave. Already done. Quinn smiled. I also may have sent it to that tech blog that's been investigating failed startups. My phone lit up with a text from an unknown number. This is Amanda from TechWatch. We're running a story on startup fraud. Would you like to comment on your brother's recent activities? I showed the message to Skylar and Quinn. Should I? Do it, they said in unison. I started typing. I have documentation you might find interesting. Skylar gathered the emails, helping me organize them. You know they'll never forgive you for this. Good. I attached the first batch of evidence to my email to Amanda. Because I'm never forgiving them either. Quinn squeezed my shoulder. You okay? I looked at my phone. 17 missed calls from Mom, 12 from Dad, 38 texts from Max, each one more desperate than the last. You know what? I am. I hit send on the email. For the first time in my life, I'm not managing their crisis. I'm creating it. To karma. Skylar raised her coffee cup. To consequences, Quinn added. I lifted my own cup, watching Max's video meltdown spread across social media. To the truth, finally told. The TechWatch article dropped like a bomb at 8 a.m. Tech startup scandal. The Emperor's new code blazed across my screen, complete with screenshots, financial records, and damning quotes from multiple sources. By 8:05, my parents were at my door. I didn't open it. "Caitlin!" Mom's voice carried through the wood. "We know you're in there. How could you do this to your brother?" "Sandra." Dad's voice, quieter. "The neighbors. I don't care about the neighbors." Something hit my door. Probably her purse. "Our daughter is destroying our family." I sat on my couch, phone recording everything. Quinn had suggested documenting their reactions. "Just in case," she'd said. "You have 30 seconds to leave before I call the police." I called out. "This is harassment." "Harassment?" Mom's laugh was hysterical. "We're your parents. We gave you everything. Everything except what was mine to begin with." I moved closer to the door, like my emergency card, my savings, my trust. "We needed it. Your brother. My brother is a fraud." I cut her off. "And now everyone knows it." Silence. Then Dad's voice, broken. "Princess, please. We can fix this." "Fix what?" I pulled up the TechWatch article on my tablet. The fake user statistics, the non-existent code, the investors Max scammed, or maybe you want to fix the $47,000 you've taken from me over the years? More silence. I could picture them exchanging looks, realizing I had receipts for everything. "Those investors," Mom started, her voice shifting to bargaining mode. "They knew it was a risk. And we'll pay you back." My phone buzzed. A text from Skylar. "Max just got served with papers. Lucas is suing for full payment plus damages." "No, Mom," I said through the door. "You won't pay me back. You can't. Because Lucas Wise is suing you for $12,000, and his lawyers don't take IOUs." "You..." Mom's voice cracked. "You reported us to the police?" "No. I reported fraud to my credit card company. They reported it to the police." Dad tried again. "We're still your parents. Parents don't steal from their children." I checked my phone. 3 more reporters had reached out for comments. "Parents don't gaslight their daughters or use them as ATMs." The elevator dinged. Heavy footsteps approached. "Oh, God," Mom whispered. "Max, no! Where is she?" My brother's voice, slurred and raw. "Where's my backstabbing sister?" "Max, you're drunk," Dad said. "Let's go home and..." "Home?" Max laughed. "What home? The investors want their money back. The venue's suing us. My reputation is ruined. And it's all because my sister couldn't keep her mouth shut." Something crashed against my door, hard enough to make it shake. "Maxwell!" Mom shouted. "Stop it!" I pressed the emergency call button on my phone. "I have already called 911, I announced loudly. "They're on their way, and I'm recording everything." "Recording?" Max's laugh turned ugly. "Like you recorded all those emails? Like you saved all those texts? Were you planning this the whole time, Caitlin? Just waiting to destroy me?" "You destroyed yourself," I said clearly, making sure my phone caught every word. "I just stopped covering for you." "We're family!" He slammed the door again. "Family protects each other. Family doesn't steal from each other." I heard sirens in the distance. "Family doesn't lie and manipulate and gaslight. Family doesn't..." "Doesn't what?" Max shouted. doesn't succeed, doesn't dream big just because you're content being some corporate drone. Sir, a new voice, building security. Step away from the door. You can't tell me to stay away from my own sister. Sir, the police are on their way. Please come with us quietly. The next few minutes were chaos. Max shouting, Mom crying, Dad pleading, security radioing for backup. Through it all, I kept recording, kept documenting every threat, every guilt trip, every manipulation tactic they'd used on me for years. Finally, blessed silence. My phone buzzed with a text from Quinn. Just saw the cops outside your building. You okay? I'm fine, I typed back. They're gone. Another text, this one from Skylar. TechWatch article has 50K shares already. Max's investors are organizing a class action lawsuit. I sank onto my couch, hands shaking as the adrenaline faded. A final text came through, from Dad. We never meant to hurt you, Princess. We just wanted to help your brother succeed. Please don't let this be the end of our family. I stared at those words for a long time before replying. This isn't the end of our family, Dad. This is the end of your control over it. Then I blocked his number, just like I'd blocked Mom's and Max's. Outside, the sirens faded. Inside, for the first time in years, there was peace. Look at this. Quinn turned her laptop toward me. We were at her apartment, a week after the confrontation at my door. Your brother's trying to do damage control. Max's latest LinkedIn post was a masterpiece of deflection. Recent events have been twisted by those who don't understand the innovative nature of startup culture. My sister's actions, while hurtful, only strengthen my resolve. Innovative nature of startup culture? Skylar read over my shoulder, snorting. Is that what we're calling fraud now? My phone buzzed with an email notification from Lucas's lawyer. The court date is set. They're asking me to testify. Will you? Quinn asked. I have to. I showed them the subpoena attached to the email. But that's not the worst part. Look what Mom posted on Facebook. Her status update was a symphony of martyrdom. Watching your children turn against each other breaks a mother's heart, praying for healing and understanding. Sometimes the ones we love most hurt us deepest. The comments are brutal, Quinn noted, scrolling through, but not in the way she expected. She was right. Instead of sympathy, the responses were scathing. Didn't your son steal from your daughter? Maybe pray for your son to stop committing fraud. I invested 15K based on lies. Where's my healing? They really thought they could control the narrative, Skylar mused. Just like always. My laptop pinged with a new email from Dad's work account. The subject line, please read. Important. Don't open it, Quinn warned. I have to. It might be relevant to the lawsuit. I clicked it open. Caitlin, I've been doing a lot of thinking. Your mother doesn't know I'm writing this. The truth is, I've always known we were harder on you. It seemed okay because you were stronger, more capable. Max needed more help, more protection. But we weren't protecting him, were we? We were enabling him, and we were hurting you. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm not even asking for a response. I just wanted you to know that at least one of your parents understands what we did wrong. Dad. Wow, Skylar said softly. That's actually kind of profound. Too little, too late, Quinn countered. Before I could respond, my phone rang. A number I didn't recognize. Hello? Is this Caitlin? This is Amanda from TechWatch again. We're doing a follow-up piece on startup accountability, and your brother just went live on Instagram making some... Interesting claims. I pulled up Instagram. Max was there, eyes wild, tie askew, clearly drunk again. My sister thinks she's exposed some great scandal, he slurred to the camera. But let me tell you what she doesn't want you to know. All those times she helped the family, she was investing in my company. She knew exactly what she was doing. I have proof. What proof? I asked Amanda. He's waving around some documents. Looks like loan agreements. I smiled. Ask him to show the signatures. A moment later. He says they were verbal agreements, family trust and all that. I see. And does he have any actual evidence that I invested in or approved anything? No, Amanda said, but he's getting pretty worked up about, oh, wow. What? He just admitted on live video that your parents used your card without permission because, quote, she owes us for raising her. This is going to be interesting for his legal defense. I ended the call and turned to Quinn and Skylar. He's self-destructing. Good, Skylar said firmly. Let him. My phone buzzed again. Mom this time, using Dad's phone since I'd blocked hers. Your brother is sick. He needs help. If you ever loved us, you'll stop this vendetta. I showed the message to Quinn and Skylar. Should I respond? Actually, Skylar pulled out her own phone. I have a better idea. She pulled up a video, security footage from Max's party. The venue's cameras caught some interesting conversations between Max and his investors. Watch this. The footage showed Max clearly promising immediate returns, guaranteeing the platform was ready to launch, even showing fake demo videos on his phone. Send it to Amanda, Quinn suggested. Let TechWatch show the world exactly who needs help. I drafted a quick email to Amanda, attaching the video. Regarding Max's latest claims, I think this footage speaks for itself. Then, I turned back to Mom's message and typed, You're right. Max needs help, but not from me, and not the kind you're offering. I suggest a good lawyer. Brutal, Quinn approved. No, I closed my laptop. Just honest. For the first time in my life, I'm being completely honest. The courthouse steps felt colder than they should have for a summer morning. I stood there, adjusting my blazer, while Quinn squeezed my hand. Ready? She asked. No. I watched Lucas's lawyer approach. But it doesn't matter anymore. Inside, the courtroom was already buzzing. My parents sat in the front row, Mom clutching her designer handbag like a shield. Dad stared straight ahead, shoulders slumped. Max wasn't there yet. All rise, the bailiff called. As we stood, the doors burst open. Max stumbled in, looking like he hadn't slept in days. His lawyer grabbed his arm, whispering furiously. Is he drunk? Quinn whispered. In court? I watched him sway slightly. Even he wouldn't. Mr. Shaw, the judge's voice cut through the murmurs. I suggest you compose yourself before we proceed. The next hour was a blur of testimony. Lucas presented his evidence, contracts, bounced payments, security footage. His lawyer called me to the stand. Ms. Shaw, did you authorize the use of your credit card for this event? No. Did you have any involvement in planning or approving the party? No. Did you give anyone permission to sign contracts using your financial information? Absolutely not. From the gallery, Mom made a small, wounded sound. Max's lawyer tried to spin it. But you've helped your family financially before, correct? This was a pattern of support? Objection. Lucas's lawyer stood. Irrelevant. I'll allow it. the judge said. Answer the question. I looked directly at my family. Yes, I've helped them before. They took advantage of that help repeatedly. This time, they took without asking. That's called theft. Liar! Max shot to his feet. You promised to support my dreams. You all did. Mr. Shaw! The judge's gavel cracked. Control yourself, or you'll be held in contempt. Contempt? Max laughed wildly. My own sister betrayed me, and you're worried about contempt? Do you know who I am? I'm a visionary. I'm drunk, his lawyer muttered, trying to pull him down. Order! The judge's voice sharpened. Mr. Shaw, this is your final warning. But Max was beyond warnings. He pointed at me, swaying. You think you're so perfect, so responsible, but you're just jealous. You always have been. Mom, tell them how she's always tried to undermine me. Bailiff. The judge nodded. As security approached, Max grabbed his phone. Look at all my followers. They believe in me. The bailiff took his arm. Mom jumped up. Your Honor, please. He's just passionate about his work. He needs understanding, not punishment. Mrs. Shaw. The judge's tone could have frozen fire. Sit down. As Max was led out, still ranting about his vision, Dad finally spoke. We did this. Philip. Mom turned to him. How can you say that? Because it's true. Dad stood slowly. Your Honor, may I speak? The judge nodded. We failed both our children. We pushed one too hard and leaned on the other too much. We watched Max lie and steal and fail, and instead of stopping him, we helped him do it. And we used Caitlin like a bank account because she was too responsible to let us fall. Mom collapsed into her seat, sobbing. The thing is, Dad continued, we thought we were protecting Max, but we were destroying him and hurting Caitlin in the process. He turned to me. I'm sorry, Princess. You deserved better parents than we've been. The judge cleared her throat. While this is all very moving, we have legal matters to settle. She shuffled her papers. Based on the evidence presented, I'm ruling in favor of the plaintiff. The defendants are ordered to pay all costs plus damages. I stopped listening, watched Mom cry into her expensive handbag, watched Dad accept the judgment with quiet dignity, watched Max's lawyer hurry out, probably to deal with his now detained client. Outside, reporters waited with cameras and questions. I pushed past them all until I reached my car. Caitlin! Mom's voice behind me. Please, can we talk? I turned. About what? How you'll pay me back? How sorry you are? How Max just needs one more chance? We're still family, she pleaded. No. I opened my car door. We're not. We're just people who share DNA and a lot of bad memories. Philip. She turned to Dad. Say something. But Dad just shook his head. She's right, Sandra. We lost the right to call ourselves family when we chose Max's delusions over her truth. I got in my car, started the engine. Through the window, I heard Mom's last attempt. What are we supposed to do now? That's not my problem anymore, I said, and drove away. In my rearview mirror, they grew smaller and smaller until they disappeared completely, just like their power over me. You need to see this, Quinn said, sliding her phone across my desk. We were having lunch in my new office. The promotion had come through last week. I glanced at the screen, a Reddit thread about startup culture and toxic families. Someone had shared my story, linking to the Tech Watch articles and court documents. The comments section exploded with similar experiences. Read this one, Quinn pointed. My brother drained our parents' retirement fund for his revolutionary app. When I exposed him, they called me a traitor. Reading Caitlin's story helped me realize I wasn't wrong to speak up. My phone buzzed. Skylar calling. "Have you checked your email?" she asked when I answered. "The investor's lawsuit just settled. Max has to pay back everything, plus damages." "How's he taking it?" "Well, he's living in Mom and Dad's basement, so—" I smiled, despite myself. "And the startup?" "Dead. But—" Skylar paused. "I'm starting my own tech company. For real this time. Would you want to look at my business plan? As an actual investor, not a family ATM?" "Send it over," I said. "I'll have my financial advisor review it." After we hung up, Quinn scrolled through more Reddit comments. "Look at this. You're trending on LinkedIn too. People are sharing stories about family financial abuse. You started something bigger than just your situation." I didn't mean to become some kind of symbol. "Too late." She showed me another post. "You're the poster child for setting boundaries with toxic family members." My office door opened, my assistant poking her head in. "Sorry to interrupt, but there's a delivery for you." She brought in a small package, the return address, Dad's office. "Are you going to open it?" Quinn asked. I cut the tape carefully. Inside was a familiar object, a small ceramic piggy bank, chipped and worn. A note fell out. "You made this in 3rd grade art class. Said you were going to save enough money to buy a castle where you'd keep all your favorite people safe. I kept it all these years, thinking it represented childhood dreams. Now I realize it showed who you always were, someone who understood the value of protecting what matters. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm not asking for anything. Just wanted you to have this back. It belongs with someone who knows its true worth." "Dad." "Wow," Quinn said softly. I turned the piggy bank over. On the bottom, in clumsy child's writing, "Caitlin's Castle Fund." My phone lit up with a text from Lucas. "That venue you mentioned, it's available next month. Perfect for a tech startup launch party." I smiled, thinking of Skylar's business plan. "Tell me more." Quinn raised an eyebrow. "Planning another party." "A legitimate one this time." I typed a quick response to Lucas. "For someone who actually built something real. Speaking of building things." Quinn pulled up a real estate listing on her phone. "That apartment you wanted? The one with the rooftop garden? It's back on the market." I looked at the piggy bank, then at the listing. "You know what? Call the agent. It's time I built my own castle." "What about your parents? Max?" "What about them?" I placed the piggy bank on my desk, next to my new VP nameplate. They made their choices. I made mine. "No regrets?" I thought about Mom's latest voicemail, begging me to help with Max's legal fees, about Dad's quiet acceptance, about all the years I spent being their safety net instead of building my own life. "No regrets," I said firmly. "Just lessons learned." Quinn grinned. "Then, let's go look at that apartment. Your castle awaits, Your Highness." "Don't call me that." I grabbed my coat. "I'm done being anyone's princess. Time to be my own queen." As we left the office, I glanced back at the piggy bank. That little girl who wanted to keep her favorite people safe had grown into a woman who learned to keep herself safe first. It wasn't the happy ending my parents wanted. It wasn't the family story they planned to tell. But it was mine. And for the first time in my life, that was enough. "Ready?" Quinn held the elevator door. I stepped in, leaving the weight of expectations and obligations behind. Ready. The doors closed on my old life, opening to something entirely new, something built on my terms, with my rules, protecting my worth. Just like that little girl with her piggy bank always knew it should be.